was just start off like the idea behind it is the max airdrop. For you, so those of you that don't know what that is, like two computers can just sync up and just drop files back and forth without connecting. But the problem with that is it's Mac OS only. You can't share between Windows or Linux. So we tried to solve that problem using Node.js.
All right, so with Node Drop, we used Node with Express and Socket.io to communicate back and forth and achieve some file transfer magic using web technologies, so it's platform agnostic. So I can go to my pictures folder, find a picture of some, I don't even know what these are, throwing bombs at each other. This is the picture I use at my team when I'm shipping code. And so that will upload. And in this other tab over here was another web page where you would send your friend to receive the file, or if you're on a local network or somewhere. And so this is actually starting the download and just piping it through from the file that's being uploaded in the first tab on the right over to the download over here. And that's kind of the experience. The idea was to make it as seamless as possible. And so we could reload over here, go back to the waiting state, and send some papers, send more cat pictures. And then if you notice on the first tab on the left over here, it immediately started receiving the file to download it. And it's just showing up in my browser downloads. Downloads tab, wherever that is. Anyway, that's the experience.
So does it actually download it, or did you guys not get to that step?
It is downloading it in the download stuff over here. So the way it's working behind the scenes, if you're interested, happy to go into that. It is taking the when the form is posting the file to the /upload route, it's just storing the incoming HTTP request in a hash map, and then sending an event to the waiting tab over Socket.io to instructing it to download. It's generating an ID for the incoming upload and sending an event down down here, broadcasting out that there was a file upload that started, so it's telling all the connected clients in the waiting tab to download this new ID. So it'll construct the URL of /download/ID, and then it will take the incoming HTTP request and then process the form and then pipe the output of that to the download response. So it's not even having to buffer the file on the server side, it's just piping the byte stream directly from the upload request to the download response.
What are extra points for line 38?
That's part of our highly scientific development methodology. Yeah.
Now, what's your experience? What's your collective experience with Node? First time? Tried it before?
So I've been writing Node pretty much exclusively for about the past 9 months at work.
Okay, cool. No, that's good.
And then, Nathan, what's your experience with Node?
I'm not a developer, so
Today.
Yeah, I do it in my free time as my interest. So I learn as much as I can. So I know JavaScript, but this is my first experience with Node. So we're kind of doing like pair developing.
Cool. Thank you. Good job. Group reading.
So if everyone could go to groupreading.azurewebsites.net. So I'm working on a project where we're doing reading assessments, mobile reading assessments for teachers to assess their students' reading. And it's really a one-on-one experience right now. But we want to try to do a group reading type of assessment. So as we see, people are starting to join in. And so what we're hoping to do is have students read aloud the passages. And so, can guys are already beating me to it. So as the student is reading and they miscue on something, we want the other students to recognize that the student is misreading it. So you're both learning that how someone else is speaking, and you're able to also kind of. Alrighty, you guys really learned. So, as you can see, this is a teacher's screen, and we can see that 2 students have clicked on basketball. And if I mouse over, well, it's that one user who's been out. Yeah. All right, who is that? Raise your hand. All right, and so as you can see who clicked on or tapped on the word that they think was mispronounced. And so one other thing that I just added was, if, let's say, popular was misread the most, I can click on it, and you should all get a definition of popular.
Awesome.
And so we're hoping that this can be like a classroom setting where we can engage the students even more. And if you want to try out the reading assessments, it's readwithmeapp.com. But of course, the group reading isn't implemented yet. And the technology behind it was basically Node.js and pushing every time a student clicks on a word, it pushes it to the teacher, who the JavaScript behind the teacher's screen is collecting all that data. And then you can probably save the report. And then the teacher is pushing the word and the definition back to each of the students when they click on the word.
How did you figure out which word it is that they selected?
So I can do a little bit of magic, and each one is wrapped in a span.
Gotcha.
And basically, I'm sending the ID of the element.
Right. That's smart. Yeah. Cool.
Perfect. And your experience with Node?
0.
0. So first day. Okay, cool.
But I was really trying to figure out a real-time interaction, and Node.js looks like it's the thing we can use.
Cool, thank you. And next up we have Santosh.
Yeah, so my idea is this. Today I will try to see, I haven't tried the demo yet, but I can show you. I was putting the mentions as well as the keywords, and then searching for those, and then trying to map that on the Google Maps to find out where it is coming from. So it's like not a big deal, like to figure out like who all is you know, talking about you from different parts of the world. It's as simple as that. So I just took 2 handles, Node.js and Bispark, and then put a Twitter query on them. So this is gonna you know, keep checking every few minutes or seconds or whichever you want to configure, and then keep plotting in the graph. I didn't come to the graph part yet, it's just plain graph showing this location. But I couldn't complete that part, but that part is done. Like it keeps checking the Twitter API every few seconds to see any new tweets loaded from the last page. So once I make the first request, then I keep recording the last updated ID. Then the next time I just get the the delta of what is remaining, so that I don't bump it up. Let me start my server. Unfortunately, I had a good time with Azure. I didn't get there. Yeah. So it starts. So I'm going to give a light tweet today from my phone, which I already said. Let's see if that works. Hasn't come yet.
Twitter's slow. So.
I don't know.
Not your fault. There?
Basically, yeah. That's me. That's all it is. My original idea was to build, I'm basically a front-end engineer from eBay. My original idea was to build front-end related tweets. There are lots of people whom I know, whom I should follow every day, but we are overwhelmed by the number of tweets we get every day. So I want to build something like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript tweets from the experts, a combination of keywords, plus experts, plus mentions, whatnot, popular tweets, all those things. So this is the first step towards that. Thank you.
Very good. Do you have questions? Was this your first Node project? What's your experience with Node?
I went to the joint thing, the first ever stuff, and then I didn't hack on. I didn't get time. But I just hack on Node.js whenever I get time. But it's not my day job.
Cool.
Yeah. But I do write JavaScript.
Cool deal. Contact me perhaps. No, no good. Okay, no go for contact me perhaps. We'll contact you later. Steamlit? You guys are somewhere? Yep. Steamlit is here, right? Yeah. Yeah. Streamlit. I'm sorry. Streamlit.
Okay. I'm Aaron. This is Tremenda, and we decided to make something called Streamlit. And so Streamlit, what it basically does is you can make channels, and what we use SoundCloud API, so we can pull music from SoundCloud, and then you can make channels and then display what music is being played.
So it'll keep going. We can keep skipping songs, but as soon as the song ends, it'll keep going. And the general idea is that like it's almost kind of like a Pandora built by users as opposed to like a random like search, right? Because instead of going through like set genres, it's the users that build the channels themselves. So you can add your own, or if you want to add songs to a specific channel, go into here, for example, do a search, and it adds anything by them to the channel, and you can keep going through them. And underneath is all I would pull up. JavaScript.
Can you guys keep playing while others add more?
Yeah. I don't know why the page is refreshing for whatever reason, like while I'm, or whenever I whenever I add a channel personally. But like, yeah, if someone else adds a channel, it'll keep playing. So it's all socket.io driven, right? So get this to show up. Wrong one. No, give me a second. Here we go. So you go through. So upon entering the page, you have socket requests for like the list of all possible channels that have been created, right? And the server just returns that. So you pick a channel you want, and you send another request to the server, which is a mouse. Receives the request, and it pulls a channel object, which is really, it's basically like a hash map. There's basically this gigantic array of channels that have been created, which is just like the name of the channel, like a list of all the songs that have been like added to the channel by users, right? So that gets returned back to the user. And now, once the user has the channel, you'll randomly go through like the big list of all the songs in the channel. As soon as you run out, it'll automatically add a bunch of new songs to the channel based on what's already in it. Or you can keep adding your own. And anytime you make any changes to it, it'll always get pushed directly to the channel. So the idea is that the more it gets used, the better it gets, and the more people can do cool stuff with it. So yeah, well done.
And what is your collective experience with Node?
So I had my own experience with it. I was actually at a Node copter event. I don't know if you guys know what that is. And like that was a lot of fun. It's pretty different, but it's definitely cool. And that's it for me. And then
I have zero experience, so yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Very cool.
So this is actually a startup idea that I have for some time. The idea of this site is that the user is going to install an extension, and every time you buy something online, type in some kind of coupon code, I'll store this extension. And I'll store this in our database. And when someone else should buy the same product, we automatically fill in that coupon for you. So, so I didn't manage to finish the extension part in the 3 hours, but I sort of have some kind of like a sample front end right here. I guess you can just like add site, like I don't know, like if there's like you can add like what's it called, coupons. Let's say it's like 14%. That's some kind of code, and then you can sort by like the best coupon, and there's some kind of animation going on, and then you can like remove a coupon, and you can like go to the site, like yeah, and there's some, that's it.
Cool. Awesome. What is your what do you use for the front end?
Oh yes, I use Angular.js
Okay.
and Node.js.
What about the CSS? Is it?
It's Bootstrap.
And what's your experience with Node?
Oh, I've never used Node.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Thank you.
Thanks.
It's been really difficult for us, and yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw us over here. We're getting a little misty just thinking about it. You guys did a really good job today, though. That was really cool to see. But the winner is group reading.
Thank you.
Congratulations.